right, thank you everybody for taking the time to participate in this workshop. We're going to try and make it as interactive as possible, and we want to make sure that you have some really solid takeaways at the end of this workshop. So, why we're all here is really, we're talking about sales today. We're talking about selling more jewelry. And that's going to be our focus. And this is a really good tactic that I have experience using, setting up many times before, and it works. It works in different industries. It works in different cities. It works for different types of products. And so hopefully at the end of this workshop, you feel empowered and confident to implement it right away, and it can have an impact on your business by the end of this month and for the rest of this year. So we're going to be talking about product listings, and just real quick, Howard touched on my background. I'm not going to repeat it, but what I want to tell you is this is something I'm passionate about. This is something I wish someone had taught me when I started doing this, because I'm going to take all of my experience and really condense it into 30 minutes. So that you don't need to take the time to learn it like I did or make those mistakes that I made. After this workshop, you're going to be ready to rumble. I've implemented and set up many campaigns, and I love taking strategy and putting it into a process, into a step-by-step process that all of you can use. So I hope that at the end of this, it's clear on what you need to do, how you're going to do it. So a quick checking question that you can answer on the chat feed, and this will help me tailor some of the content within this workshop. Is I just want to know real quick, how familiar are you with Google product listings and product ads? Are you have you never seen them before? Or have you seen them and you actually are running them for your company, or you know what they are, but you don't use them yet? So I see Rebecca has them running. That's awesome. Hopefully we give you some tips and tactics. I see Ivy and Amanda are know what they are, but don't use them yet. So that's exciting because we're going to set them up for you. Seema also knows what they are, but hasn't set them up. Christy's got them running. Awesome. Mary, cool. So we've got, we're in good shape. Most of the people here have answered that they know what they are, but they don't use them yet. Or we have some people here that are running them for their company. So hopefully we give you some cool tips and tactics to improve. So for those of you, I just want to bring some clarity to what we're talking about here, right? There's two screenshots here, and we want to just put ourselves in the mindset of the consumer, right? So let's say our consumer is searching for Wonder Woman jewelry. We're going to use that as an example throughout this presentation. So that consumer goes into Google and they type in Wonder Woman jewelry. Maybe it's a girl buying it for herself. Maybe it's a father buying it for his daughter. Maybe it's a boyfriend buying it for his girlfriend for Valentine's Day, etc. So the person goes in on Google and they type in Wonder Woman jewelry. On the left here, we see, right? We see up here at the top, these are our ads, right? That's what's going to show up. These ads here at the top of the screen, and let me just bring up my pointer. Okay, right here, we're talking about ads. On the right side of the screen here, these are the listings. So these on the right side of the screen, the listings are for free. The ads, what you see at the top, are paid, right? But both, for those of you that have not set them up yet, both are set up the same way. And we're going to talk about setting them up in this workshop. I just wanted to quickly clarify here. You have ads on the left, ads, we have listings, okay? Just a quick point of clarification. So let's clean it. Now let's go to the next slide. Oh, let me clean that. All right, so here's what we're going to cover in the next 30 minutes. We're going to talk quickly about strategy. I'm not too much of a strategy. I don't want to go too in depth into strategy. Just a couple quick points on strategy, and then it's all about implementation. Setting up your product feeds, syncing it with Google Merchant Center, adding promotions, adding reviews, measuring ROI, and we're going to plug in some case studies along the way. So we got a lot to talk about, and we're going to do it all in a short amount of time. All right, so here we go. This is the quick point on strategy that I want to reference. This concept is called the consumer purchase process. This consumer purchase process follows most industries and most products. And these are the 5 steps that I always want you to think about your consumer doing when they're going to be purchasing products through your website. Okay, everybody always follows this consumer purchase process. It follows these 5 steps. There's need recognition. A need gets triggered in someone's head. It could be there's a void that they need to fulfill, there's a desire, there's some type of flicker, some type of flash in their mind that triggers this entire process. So for example, Valentine's Day is coming up. I need to get my girlfriend a gift. That's a need, that's a trigger. Or my daughter's birthday is coming up and I need to get her a gift. Or I just got paid, I want to treat myself. I've always wanted some Wonder Woman jewelry. I feel comfortable that I have some good discretionary income. I'm going to buy myself a gift. I want to treat myself. So once that person has a need that's triggered, then they're going to go do some information search. And that's when they go on Instagram, they go on Google, they go on Facebook, they ask their friends, they go on magazines, they go out and search for a solution to that problem that they recognize, to fulfill that void and to fulfill that desire. So they're going to search, in this case, we're talking about if someone goes on Google to search for a solution to that problem. So like we talked about, someone goes to Google and types in Wonder Woman jewelry. Then they're going to evaluate different alternatives. They're going to evaluate price, material, the look, and maybe how many reviews that person has, etc. Then they're going to make that purchase. They're going to add their credit card, and then they're going to have some post-purchase dissonance, which means they're going to think how happy they are with their product, with the purchase that they just made. So these are the 5 steps that people always go through. Just consider them when you're creating your campaigns, and put yourself in the shoes of your consumer and think about, when they're going to do that information hunt, when they're going for a hunt for their solution, what are they typing in on Google? Because that's going to influence what you put in in your titles, what you're going to put in on your descriptions, etc. So step-by-step implementation. So for those of you that have not set up your product feeds yet, here's what you need to know. Here's the 5 steps. Step 1 is you're going to sign up for Google Merchant Center and you're going to verify your website. So that's really simple to do. You just go to Google Merchant Center on the web, you find it, and you sign up. You add your website and your payment information for how you accept payments or how you do shipping. There's some questions that they'll ask you to fill out, and then they'll ask you to verify your website. So that's something you can do on your own. It's a very quick process, and then once you have that set up, you're free to do the remaining steps. So again, just go to Google Merchant Center. This is hyperlinked when you get the slides afterwards, and then verify your website. And then you're going to, once your website's verified and you're up there, then you're going to upload your product feed, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. You're going to add promotions, you're going to sync your reviews, and then you're going to measure results, and you're going to keep trying to improve so that you increase those conversion rates. So here's how you upload a feed. So the top left corner here, you're going to see when you sign up for Google Merchant Center, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, they're going to, on the left here, you're going to see there's overview, products, performance, marketing, and growth. All you need to know is that when you click products, when you click feeds, there's this plus sign right here. And that's what you need to look for, is that plus sign. And when you click that plus sign, this window is going to pop up, right? This window right here is going to pop up after you click that plus sign. and you're going to type in the country that you're targeting, the language. Then you're going to select these two checkboxes, one for free listings, which are those free shopping listings that we saw earlier, and one for shopping ads, which we also saw earlier. Then in this case, when you click next, it's going to ask you to upload your feed, and you're going to type in the name of your feed, and you're going to upload your file. Today we're talking about using just a general Excel spreadsheet. You can also do this on Google Sheets, and you're going to upload it, and that's it. Those are the steps for uploading your feed. So now let's talk about what a feed looks like. So this is what a feed will start to look like. Feed is a general Excel spreadsheet where you're listing all the products that you want to be selling. So for example, let's take this Wonder Woman ring from Swarovski. Okay, here's the listing or product ad that they would show. And you see there's a picture here, beautiful, beautiful high-res picture. There's a title, right? There's the price. There's the brand, Swarovski USA. There's free shipping, and they have a 14-day return policy listed. So this is what's in their product ad. So how did Google get this information to list in the product ad? Well, Swarovski uploaded a product feed that looks like this. So product feed, again here, we have a spreadsheet. Okay, so let's look at these different columns are for different types of data. So the first column is your product ID. This would be the ID, say, that you use in your Shopify store. So your product ID, in this case, it's WW00-52, okay? And then there's a group ID, WW00. So let's say the product ID is WW0052, and this is the group ID. The reason you have a group ID is if you have different sizes or different colors or different variations. So let's say this ring comes in different sizes, right? So it's the same ring, but we have a size 52 and a 55, then we'll do two different products in the same group. So if you have rings with different sizes, or say you have earrings that come in different materials, or watches that come in different colors, you'd list each product individually per row, and then you would keep them in the same group ID. Then you give your products titles, then you give them a description, then you include a link to the product page on your website. Then you give yourself the condition of the product. This would be new or used. Then you put your price, availability, and your link to the image. Okay, so this is the quickest way to create a product feed. There's a question from Jill here. Do we have to use specific Google column titles and Excel format, or can we use our own Excel exported from our website? Great question, Jill. Thanks for asking. So at the top of the column here, at the top of the feed, the names of these columns have to match the way Google requests it. So you have to use ID, you have to use item underscore group underscore ID, title, description, link, condition, price, availability, image, link. Okay, Google, you need to use the same column, the same heading for the columns. And so you can use a general Excel format. You could also do this on Google Sheets. So I hope that answers your question. So yes, answer is you have to use these identifiers at the top that Google asks for. All right, so next step, okay, this product feed can get a little bit more in depth. So as you see here on the left, this is what we just covered, right? The ID, the group ID, titles, descriptions, etc. Now there's other information that you want to add to your feed so that you can optimize your product listings. So first here, these are your GTIN numbers. Now GTIN numbers and MPN numbers, or manufacturing part numbers, okay, the reason this information is important is for two reasons. One, if you're using a reviews software like a Yotpo or AliExpress, okay, they require you to use this information to sync your reviews with your product feed. That's one reason. Second reason is if you're a reseller and you're selling a product that other resellers are also selling, Google wants to know this information so that they can show users where they can find that same product at a lower price. So if you're selling a set of earrings from a specific brand for $200 and your competitor is selling them for $180, and those products have the same GTIN number, then Google is going to show that to the user, and we'll show that in a moment. Here you want to include the brand of the product that you're selling. Then you're going to want to use Google product categories. Google product categories help inform the algorithm on where to present your products. So there's certain product category numbers that you use for different items. I'll show you in just a moment which product category numbers match with which types of jewelry. Then you can include the color, the material, the size, the sizing system that goes with the size. It could be your Europe sizes, the age group that this product is for, and the gender. So this is your product feed. There's other information you can add, but this is the general information that you need to be adding. And you're going to start, with one product at a time, and you're going to go row by row. And you're going to do product number 1, product number 2, product number 3, till you get down to all the products that you're selling in your store. See a couple questions come in, and let me answer them real quick. We've got Cameron who asked, can you leave any columns blank, or will Google only post information if it is fully completed? So great question. You can leave information blank. You can leave columns blank, right? Certain information is required. Like you need to have a product ID, a title description, a link to the product, the price, and the image link. I believe those are the bare bones that you need, because Google needs that to show that information. If you're missing specific information that that is required, it'll flag that product in your feed, and it'll tell you to plug in more information. But remember, the more information you put, the more Google is going to list your products, and the more opportunities you have to sell more. So the more information you include, it's to your advantage. So I hope that answers that question. All right, so Rebecca asked the question, I use Shopify and have errors in the Google Merchant Center that I don't have genders, age group, color identifiers, and the text is too short. If I get penalized on views for those errors, I have over 4,000 items on my site. All right, good question, Rebecca. So what I would say in your case is, yes, you are getting penalized in the sense that because you have errors, your products are not listing. So yes, you in general, you're getting penalized because your products are not listing. So if you're having an issue syncing your Google Merchant Center through Shopify, the quickest workaround would be to export your products from your Shopify, clean up the spreadsheet, and then process it manually by uploading your spreadsheet like I showed. The other thing I would do is I would either get on the phone with Shopify and really start combing through and adding, you can add your GTIN, your MPN, and brand on through your Shopify through the variables. I'm not sure about genders and age group and color, but you either do it through Shopify or through purchase a third-party integrator for like 30 bucks a month and get that information up there. So you have a couple ways to go about it. You can go manually, you can use an integrator, you can upgrade your Shopify account or get on the phone with Shopify. And so you can get those listings up there. So good. Let's see. Yes, God bless assistance for sure. Great. And then Jill, question from Jill. Can the images be stored in a Dropbox link? Good question. I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. I would say try it. And with it, once you upload your feed, you'll see whether it's working or not. So try it. If it works, let us know. Usually, the pictures that I know are integrated with the website. I will say though, if you do upload to Dropbox, I would say make sure it's public. Just keep that in mind. So let's keep this rolling. Just a couple of thoughts, and I'll keep monitoring the chat feed as we progress. So make sure. Okay, so here's the thing that I found a cool little hack. Right, when you are putting up your product titles, use product titles that capture attention. Right, so you have your first 60 characters that people see when they're looking at the product title. So you don't have to use generic product titles. You can use something more emotional. You can test product titles month to month. You can put your incentives within the product titles. Like I'll put 10% off right in the product titles. That's the first thing people see. You want to use your product differentiators within the first few words so that you capture people's attention. Age group, we had talked about that. You have infants, toddlers, kids, adults. Colors, when you have multiple colors on a product, you can just put a slash like that, red, pink, or blue. For genders, you can type in unisex. For material, you can include your materials. If it's a one size fits all, you plug in OSFA on your sizing chart. If you need GTIN numbers, that's the website where you go get your GTIN numbers. They're pretty inexpensive. And then here we are with our product IDs for your product feeds. So there was that column for product feeds. So if you have bracelets, you want to plug in 191. If you're doing necklaces, 196, etc. This information, you can get it here. You can also just do a quick Google search if you need to find more explicit product IDs, but this should be enough for you to get going. All right, so next we're talking about, all right, so we've got our product feed up there. Now, how do we optimize it? What are some things we can do to stand out, right? Because we know that, there's competition. So there's a couple things we can do to stand out. One are promotions. And you'll see here, you'll see right here, there's a link. Let me just use a quick. If you see right here, there's a link that says special offer, right? So of this listing here, you see on the left and the right side of it, no one had this link that said special offer. The special offers are actually really easy for you to implement. In this case, this person's using 15% off discount with a code that the person inputs at their checkout. So how do you do that? It's really quite easy. On your Google Merchant Center, you just go to in this left column, you just go to marketing and promotions. You click that plus sign, That's what you're looking for. That plus sign is where you input your new promotion. So here's what's going to pop up when you start to create a promotion. It's going to tell you to put in your country, language. It's going to ask you the destination, be your shopping ads. And this will also sync with your feed. It'll also sync with your listing. Here's where you type in what kind of promotion you're going to do. I usually do 10% off. We've got, here's the type of percent off we're going to do on all items. You can do on a specific, if they purchase a specific quantity of products, you can add more customization to it. But you add your discount, you create your promotion ID. You can choose specific products or all products, type in your promo code, use a start and end date so there's some scarcity there, and then you create your promotion. Great question, Abraham, on the, can you have a percent off and free shipping? So when you're listing a promotion, you can only list one promotion at a time. You cannot select both percent off and free shipping in terms of a promotion. However, when you adjust the settings for your Google Merchant Center, you can offer free shipping on your items. So that's one hack to doing it, is to offer free shipping, offer that free shipping site-wide. I know that's also a challenge that I had once with Shopify, is I wanted to create like a 10% off and free shipping on Shopify, and they would only let me do one at a time. I believe there might be some integrations or some apps that you could use to help you with that. So I hope you answered that question. Also, Howard said there's an earlier question about linking to Amazon listings. Let me see that. Let's get to, okay, here. Can you link your Amazon listings, or does it have to be on your own website? So this is Andrea. This is a good question. I would say I know you can link listings from eBay. I don't know about Amazon. So the answer is I don't know, but I'll help you look if we follow up afterwards. Let's see. So I hope I answered that question. And Renee asks, can you repeat how to offer free listings and promotion? Sure. So, when you, let's clarify, Renee. When you add your product feeds, when you create that product feed that we showed you and you upload that feed to Google, automatically now your stuff is listed on Google Shopping for free. So once you upload the feed, that's all you have to do, and then you're up and running. Now to add a promotion, it's what we just covered here, where you just go back into your Google Merchant Center and you click on marketing and promotions and you hit that plus button, and that's where you add this promotion. And you follow these steps to add your promotion. And if you have some trouble, there's some information there. So one more idea that I want to throw out to you on how to optimize your listings. You can see here there is sometimes people have a little button next to their products that say sale, right? So that's another way to catch people's eyeballs. And the way you get to incorporate that into your listing is you add a couple columns to your feed that say sale price and sale price effective date. And you can see here the sale, what that does is it adds this little button here that says sale. It's actually a little box that says sale, and it changes the price point. You get the original price point with the strike through and the current price right here. And then you also tell Google when to stop offering that sale. That's another way to catch some eyeballs. And that's done through your feed. And question from Rebecca, is there a workaround for the 6-month limit for the promotion? I always offer free shipping for orders. Also, do we have to use a code? So good question. Let's go back here. So the question is, do we have to use a promo ID? Right, so that's part, there's the 6-month limit, and then there's the promo ID. So the way that I work around the 6-month limit is I always do start and end dates on my promotions, because it adds an element of scarcity. It tells people that, oh, you know, the promotion's only good until February 1st, and I always make my promotions timely, right? So I have the New Year's promotion, I had Valentine's Day promotions, spring promotions. And then there's, in terms of using a promotion ID and a promo code. It's a good question. I would say yes, you always have to use a promotion ID so that you can track it from the inside. And yes, you have to use a promo code for people to use that specific promotion, or you use this element here, which is offering a sale, which allows people to get that automatic discount. Right, so promo code is for running those promotions. Yes, they would have to use a promo code. If you want to offer 10% off all around, you would use this element here, the sale. Let's keep this rolling. We got a couple more questions, and we'll keep them ready. We'll keep answering them along the way. Let's see. All right, we've got these review stars. And Rebecca, I hope that answers your question. If not, let's clarify it at the end of this. And then Christy also answered a question: what happens when you need to change your feed? And we'll answer that shortly too. So we've got another way to optimize your product listings are adding review stars. So we've got for those of you that are using Shopify, you can integrate with like AliExpress, Reviews.io, and there's other platforms if you're using WordPress or Magento. And there's this link here that you can click on that shows all of the reviews providers that sync with Google product listings. These are their trusted reviews providers. And if you're going to start using these reviews, if you want to get these review stars to start showing on your product ads, you have to get 50 combined product reviews to get that going. And it'll take about 21 days from the time you get those 50 reviews for those stars to start showing up on your product ads. And you need those GTIN numbers to sync with your product ads. So, you know, a lot of those reviews providers are pretty easy to use. I use Reviews.io. There's you know, there's different prices. Some offer video, etc. But it's possible. That's all you have to know is it's another way to optimize your listing. So now let's talk about product ads. So there was a question that came up with the difference between product listings and product ads. And so let's clarify and let's put some weight on this now. So product ads are I would say your product listings on steroids, right? So when we talked about the consumer purchase process and someone goes in and types in that Wonder Woman jewelry, this is the first thing that pops up on Google. Your product ads show up at the top of the search results, even above the search ads, even above all the SEO. So as a business, this is one of your most valuable tactics, because one, you get your pictures so people can see what you're selling, and two, you're at the top of the chain. You know, you're at the top of the list, at the top of the search result. So the way you do that, the way you get here, the way you get to the top of the search result, is you sync your feed with your Google Ads account. And it's really easy to do. You create your Google Ads account the same way. And you go to your shopping don't be intimidated by this. Just go to your shopping campaigns, and then you click campaigns, and then you hit that, look for that plus sign, and you click another, and you add a shopping campaign. And here's what will pop up. First, say that you're going after sales, and you click this button here that says shopping, and then you sync this shopping ad with your merchant center. And that's all you have to do. You leave this checked, smart shopping campaign. And what this does is this automatically sets up your product shopping ads. Not much more to it than that. And then you start putting some coin behind your ads. And you're looking at anywhere from 50 cents to $1.50 per click. And you're getting hot eyeballs. You're getting very explicit searches, people who are looking for your specific products. And there's some very good conversion metrics that are going to come from running those product ads. So it's highly worthwhile, even if you have to start with $100 a month budget, but get it up there, because that's 100 more people looking at that specific product who are in the market for it, who are searching for it. So get those product ads running. Abraham asked, can we limit where people see the ad, like country and state? Yes, you can limit country and state. You can get so granular. You can get granular on city. For example, like if you know that people in a certain state are more likely to purchase watches, you can put more emphasis on that state. A couple best practices: use unique images, high-res images. Use unique images. Try some different backgrounds. Try different angles to make your product stand out. You know, you could go in and search products that you're going to be competing with, and see what that landscape looks like, and then come up with some ideas on how to use maybe a different angle or a different background to make your image stand out. And then leverage those titles. You get that space, those characters. So put some emotional copy in there. You don't need to re-upload your feed every 30 days with Google Sheets. You can keep it up there. You don't have to reprocess it. If you upload with a spreadsheet every 30 days, you're going to need to reprocess that feed. And this can also address Christy's question: what happens when you need to change your product feed? You can either you just re-upload the feed if you're using an Excel spreadsheet. If you're using a Google Sheet, you can just edit it on your Google Sheets. If you're using an integration, say between like a Shopify and Merchant Center, you would just adjust it within your Shopify account, and it would automatically do it for you. Let's see. Oh, and then we've got some product-centric landing pages. Make sure when someone clicks on that link, they're going to the right product-centric landing page, and it's getting them to add the cart, right? So this is our funnel. This is kind of our last. Let's tie this all together with some last bit of strategy, right? as marketers, we think in terms of conversion funnels. So at the top of our funnel, we've got Google product ads, we've got Facebook ads, we've got articles, influencers. We're sourcing traffic from all these different places, right? Today, we talked about product listings and product ads. And that traffic's gonna get funneled down to a product page. And our goal is to get them to initiate checkout. You know, how quickly can we get them to add to cart or proceed to checkout? And then from there, you know, you can get more complex with your funnel, but always think in terms of funnels. Write out your funnels so that you get yourself, you know, you build some good structure and clarity for yourself, you know, and then start adding in all the bells and whistles. You could do some retargeting. If someone clicked on your product ads, you can retarget them. You can retarget them on Facebook. You can retarget them on Instagram. You know, showing them that same product, etc. It goes on and on. But for the most part, these are these are the foundation. And then measuring results. You know, you want to go into your, on the top left here, we've got our Google Merchant Center under performance. They'll show you how many impressions and clicks and your click-through rate that you're getting. Remember, that's all free for your free listings. And then on your Google Ads account, you can look at those product ads and you can see, you know, how your ads are performing in terms of how many clicks you're getting, how many of those clicks are converting into sales. And based off that data, you're going to make adjustments to your feed, to your promotions, to your titles, etc. So you want to keep an eye on your data, right? And see and make decisions based off of what the data is telling you. So let's open it up now for Q&A. I'll try and get back on the Q&A that I missed. And please chime in on the chat. And or I'm not sure if we unmute people, but we can use the chat for now. Keep in touch with me. Send me your feeds. Glad to look it over. Send me your questions, like that Amazon question. Let's look into it together. I'm glad to help you out. Get in touch on LinkedIn. If you ever need help with anything marketing related, shoot a quick text or a quick message. Glad to help out. So let's open it up for some Q&A. And Howard, did you have anything? I don't know if Howard's still there. If you wanted to chime in on anything, if not,
sure. Yeah, I'm still here.
Product feed.
Yeah, Brian, I'm still here. I think this session has got probably close to more questions than we've seen so far in about 12 sessions. So I think you've hit a nerve where everybody really wants to do a good job with this, and they're already either in it or wanting very much to be in it. So perfectly timed for this group. And I think, yeah, just go back into the, and I want to thank you for an amazing session, but yeah, go back into the chat and keep answering the questions, and I'm sure there'll probably be some more.
Cool. So we'll do this through chat. I'll try and help out as best I can. So Renee asks, do you think the audience varies for Google Ads and Google product listings? Should we change the copy to target each audience? Okay, so do you think the ads vary? So a great question. So when it comes to product listings, you have less control of your audience than if you're running Google Ads. So with the control that you have on your Google product listings are in your free listings are in your feed, right? So remember we talked about, say, you could do adult, child, adult, or toddler, I think baby, right? So you can tell them who this product is for in terms of their age. You can do male, female, unisex. And then you can do, let's see, you might be able to do a couple other things I'm not thinking of right away. But when you're running ads, you get a lot more control. You can add actual audiences in your Google Ads, in your Google Ads account. You just go in there and you go to your audiences, and you can add custom audiences like high credit card spenders. I don't know what specific, you can look for specific things related to jewelry, fashion, household income, homeowners, etc. And you can use audiences that way. And you can customize by location. So say you could target certain higher income cities if you want to, etc. And then should you change the copy to target each audience? Yes, I mean the more you're able to change the copy, the better. So if you're targeting young women versus targeting older men, you're going to have different images and different copy for them. You're going to want to appeal emotionally to them. And, you know, because people buy definitely based off of emotion, right? So if I'm buying, you know, jewelry, because if it's a husband buying jewelry for his wife, he wants to impress his wife. So the copy in your ads can very much be the best gift to get your wife, or the best gift to buy a girlfriend, etc. And if it's a girl buying jewelry for herself, you're going to want to use the you know, something along the lines of, you know, the best way to treat yourself. You know, you can still use those kind of tactics that might have been, we might have thought we only use them for Facebook, but you can use, you know, really good emotional copy on your product ads, because people still buy based off of emotions, whether they're on Google or Facebook. So I hope that answers that, or we can keep going if you have a follow-up question. Abraham asked, is there a budget you recommend? You know, so always just start and see how you can improve. So if you can spend, you know, $1,000 a month and put up $1,000 up there, go ahead and do it. Because remember, when people are on Google, they're lower down in your funnel. They've already established a need for what you're providing, right? So they're in the market, they're in the game to purchase some earrings or purchase some bracelets or a watch, right? So it is good for you to start putting some coin behind what you're selling. And then what you do is you measure, right? So you keep an eye out after that first month and you see how many clicks came to your website, right? So if you spend $1,000 and you got 1,000 people to your website and you generated $1,200 worth of revenue, so you netted $200, so you made money, right? So the way I answer that question is I always say you take a budget you're comfortable with, say it's $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, the more the merrier. And you're gonna see you're gonna get some action from this. You wanna do it. And then you're going to see you might get a little addicted to it because you're getting a lot of action. So don't be scared to do it, to put a budget behind it, especially today. I mean, there are millions and millions of people searching for jewelry on Google. So you got to be there, right? But the advantage to you is you get to sell nationwide. You get to sell globally, right? You can ship it and you can ship it. So, you know, start with as much as you feel comfortable with, and then go run it, and then go run a test, and then go improve next month. Cameron, cool. Yeah, a lot of info. There's going to be the recording. You'll get the slides. Renee, so can we change the copy and the titles even if it's uploaded? I'm assuming the question is, so you can change the copy in your titles when you're uploading a feed, when you're using Google Sheets. When you say you sync your WordPress or your Shopify with Merchant Center, it'll pull the titles from the titles that you're using on those platforms. So if you really want to have some flexibility, you're going to be uploading it manually, or you're going to have to upload it. You're going to have to change the titles manually either way. But the means of doing it is either going to be through the manual feed or through your integrator. So I hope that answers that question. let's see. Renee, so for Google listing, yeah, you can change the copy of the titles. You can use any copy that you would like. And you can not only can you change that copy, you can change it and then change it the next day if you want to change it back. So let's see, any other last minute questions? Take a quick sip. All right, well, don't see any more questions trickling in. So thank you all so much for taking the time, to be here. And thank you, Howard, and the team for putting this conference together. This was a great conference. And, I'm excited to see all your feeds, send them over in an email, send me some screenshots. Glad to shoot some ideas your way on how to differentiate your product listings up there. And hope everybody has a great weekend.